I think that we'll go out as late as we can with the kids, or we'll get a sitter and do those things. And I feel like we're kind of on the same page. I feel like we're both tired. You know what I mean? So what was going on in the past event that we had going on? Valentine's Day. So for Valentine's Day, we talk, ooh, what you want to do? And you think you're going to go out on town. And listen, it was like a Tuesday night. And then he was like...
We dropped them kids off when we got some takeout food and we sat on our couch.
And it was the best. So, because we were like, do we want to go out and get up and go uptown? We were tired. We were both tired. So we said, you know what? He was like, we're going to lay out some blankets, have like a little picnic in the floor. We're going to eat out, have some wine, and spend time with each other. And it was the best. And we were on the same page with that being just as gratifying of a Valentine's Day for us and where we are in life right now. So, yeah, gears have shifted. And sometimes we do, still get up and, put on heels and get cute for them. We get dressed nice for each other and things like that. But I loved that on Valentine's Day, he threw that out as an option. I was like, yes, I don't feel like putting on heels. I don't feel like, washing my hair, doing my hair today and stuff. It was absolutely perfect. So I think that we ebb and flow when we do it together. And I feel grateful that we're on the same page with things of, spontaneity that used to be a huge part of our relationship, that where it is now, and we just kind of adapted. And so we still had a kid-free night, which was great. And it was just as gratifying just to spend time with him and get some good takeout and shift gears in that kind of way. So I think that we do a good job with making it work as we can. And we still, we might, when we had one kid, we've gone out kind of late, for Waffle House or something like that. They're probably, what's this kid doing in here? Whatever. What's this kid doing in here? But we still do it. And we just go in the best way that we can. And it's perfect for where we are in life.
So do you guys have any questions for us? What
makes you two want to do what you're doing? Like, what makes you two passionate? Because clearly y'all are passionate about this. So I know, Aaron, I know that you have a background with film and this is completely your arena to be doing. What makes you want to use it in this kind of way? What's your passion with connection and helping these other couples and even singles?
This is the first time I got to experience falling in love and like meeting someone who we were equally wanting to experience true connection. And I feel like God brought us together, and what we've experienced, I really want to be out and share this with people and help people find what we found in each other. And that's really why. That's really the big why for me, is to be able to share this, what we've had and this special thing with other people, and to help them either find or sustain their connection, refine their connection. But really, I think there's beauty in it. And I think that unfortunately, a lot of systems in our society is not designed to help us really find real meaningful connection. And I think some of it has to do with a lot of people have lost their faith in God and in systems, which means they've lost their faith in connection. And I feel like we can be stewards of that to help people refine it. So.
And for me, I mean, I've been through a lot. Raising this kid, predominantly like by myself, since she was 5, and haven't been married before, and it failing and wanting to have a successful marriage, have a successful relationship. I never gave up. I always had that in my heart, and I always made sure that I didn't tuck away or throw away the all the possibilities in the dream of being in love, having that type of love that I always wanted. And when you feel defeated because your relationships are not working, it's easy to give up and be like, you know what, this is just, not that it's never gonna happen, but when is it gonna happen? You know what I mean? And when you're in the dating scene and you know that you're a good person and you're not coming across the right people, or you find good people, but maybe they're not in the right place at the time, it just gets a little just tiresome. So I decided, when my marriage ended, I decided to put focus on myself, love who I was. I did therapy for about 2.5 years. I focused on that, and then I tried to implement whatever I've done, in the past, and also what I'm learning about myself, and try to develop in a way where I could be better. You always want to be better, no matter how good you are. You always want to be better. You always can be better. And yeah, I was a good mom, but when you're a good mom, you want to be a great mom. You want to be a better mom. You're a good wife. You know you are, but you always want to be better. If you're a good ball player, you know what I'm saying? You always want to be better, like Jordan. You always want to be better. But I never gave up. And I think that's the thing. So with the things that I've learned, I want to be able to help others to have something strong and consistent, to where they don't want to give up, because they have a good foundation, and not allowing that to stray. Now that I have met this man and I have a partner, someone that I knew I could see myself doing this. And even when I talked to him about it, he was just like, heck yeah, because, and he had feelings about it too. It was like, oh my God, where have you been all my life? This is something that we should have, I wish we would have met way, long time ago. But things happen for a reason. And when you get a certain age, you grow and you learn. And now you got more wisdom and more knowledge, and you're able to, like, I know I'm saying a lot, but that's why we're so passionate about it, because we want to see people win.
Would you hold me if I told you we can just run away? So come, my darling, let me help you. We can follow the sun and leave the rain for somebody else. Let's help ourselves, leave our troubles on the shelf. Don't you worry, we're gonna find all we need in our sunset paradise.
So the first thing I would say that's probably important as you're joining us is let's talk a little bit about like love, because the word is used so much. It's at the fabric of who we are, but I think if we really want to talk about what love means, it really means to commit yourself to something greater than yourself, and within that, it is to treat that thing in the same way that you yourself would want to be treated, right, and respected. And I think that what can happen in a lot of our loving relationships is if we're not coming at it from that space of respect, and if we're not being open, honest, and unselfish in it, this is where I think we find trouble in our loving relationships. And so one of the things we'll be doing this season is really just trying to help you guys just step away from some of the emotions we get caught into. And I think the emotions make it hard for us to maybe make modifications so that we can have better connections. But I think that's one of the reasons that we're here and why this is so important to us, because we want everyone to have these healthy, loving, fun relationships so that you can really focus on just enjoying life together, because that's really what it's about.
When I think about love, love is a lot of things, and there's also different levels. You have people who have loving friendships. You have those the kind of love, when you love your family, the kind of love that you have for even people that you meet. That's outside of your family or outside of your home. Love is when you actually care. Love is when you want to be a part of and you want to help that person enhance. Love and connection, we just want to be the vehicle where we build a bridge, and allowing that bridge to allow, the gap to be closed with our loving relationships, and being in a position where we could have the tools and the techniques that we need to be consistent in our actions, and to be able to continue to show and also speak to that thing called love.
Because for most of us, the fear is too present in our lives. And too often people are afraid of what happens if, right? And because of that, they don't love unconditionally, because they always reserve and hold this little bit back as just in case, maybe, just in case they leave me. I gotta be prepared. I gotta, and that's the reason, is that people want to hold back just this little bit, just in case. When, if you just go on through life being fearless, regardless to how things are happening, you will get the best of the things that you push yourself towards, and the best will come out of it, regardless to what the results are, right? But I think that that's really what it is that people are so fearful that they just hold us a little bit back because they're afraid of what happens if. And for many people, they spend too much time. I think, what is it, like 85% of the thoughts that we have every day are the same thoughts every single day. So whatever the negativity they have, I think 80% of those thoughts are negative thoughts. And so people are always in their head, and of those things, 90% of those things never actually come true, but people are thinking it, and they're manifesting it in their mind that it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. They could leave me, they could leave me. So I have to, and I think that's the reason why, is that you can't give fully because you're here. And for me, I'm like, I'm free. I'm free to give. I'm giving everything I have. And I don't think about what happens. I don't even consider it. We're gonna be together forever. I don't even consider it. I just don't.
So we met through a friend. I am in the military, and I was active duty at the time. And one of my friends, so I'm a little bit of a hip hop dancer myself. And I was on the base dancing. I was widely known, and one of my friends was in a dance performance. That's all I knew at the time. And he came to me, he's like, you gotta come. You're the biggest dancer that I know, so you should come. Why am I in a dance performance and you're not in the dance performance? And I was like, all right, I'll go. He's like, wait till you see my partner. She's so sexy. And so I went, and she was his partner. She was his dance partner. And then I later found out, later meaning like just very short time frame later, that this dance performance was for a lingerie company. So, yeah. So we were not dancing in the sense of, like a Janet Jackson, The Weeknd performance at the Super Bowl dance. It was, what are we wearing next to nothing dance.
Underwear.
So, I saw her in lingerie before we even had really serious dates.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it was. And then I introduced myself to her family at the dance performance, of which I was stripping as a firefighter. And I ripped my shirt off and threw it to her grandmother. And she caught it and waved it. So I knew it was an okay family to be part of. That's how we met. We met through a mutual friend who, before there were phones and social media, we didn't have to do all that. We met at the dance performance, and we just kind of clicked.
Sometimes listening means asking questions to seek understanding so that you and your partner are sure to be on the same page. Listening doesn't always mean taking action unless stated. Just simply means listen. When your person feels heard, they instantly feel closer to you.
So we met the first night that we met.
we were introduced, we both were invited to a holiday celebration, and it was an event. I saw you there, and at the time, it was just, a few of us. You were there, our mutual friend was there, and there was a couple other folks that was there, and everyone was just really nice, and then Anna made an account to personally introduce us, and you and I was just kicking it, like it was just easy, just, hey, how's it going? Where you from? Oh, you live in Charlotte? Oh, you from here? If not, how long you been here? Things like just, general stuff. Then we walked to the bar, to get more wine and just continue to talk about books that we've read. It just was easy. When our friend asked me to take you to your car, which was several blocks up, actually it seemed like it was like a mile long. I'm not sure why you parked so far, but it gave us an opportunity to continue to talk. When you got out of the car after us talking probably for at least 45 minutes to maybe an hour easy, and I got home and I texted you that I made it home safe, and I think you texted me first because you made it home before I did, and then I let you know that I made it. It was, I was smiling. I knew because it was just so effortless, just how we were engaging was different. No one was trying too hard. It wasn't any expectations that, oh, well, yeah, he's handsome. Yeah, I'm going to make him mine, or she's this, so I'm going to, it wasn't any of that. It was just genuinely getting to know us. It wasn't until the next day where we actually went out on our first date. We met on a Wednesday, and technically we wasn't supposed to go out until Sunday to have coffee. But it was in my heart at the time to, I had some time, and I was like, what are you doing, later? You want to get together, like do a happy hour or something, just to kind of chat or whatever. And when you said you were available, it was like, all right, cool. So when I got there and met you there, because you're very timely, like you're like 5 minutes early is probably 2 minutes late for you. So when I got there, the smile that you had on your face, it was welcoming, and just I saw this openness, this natural openness that you had within yourself, which allowed me and helped me to understand that I can be open too, and not have any guards up, or not be like, let's just see how this goes or whatever. Our conversation just flowed. We were there for 4 hours. Easy. Like, we were there for 4 hours. I don't think we left until like after 11 o'clock. It was then, we were literally sitting at the edge of our seats. No one sat back relaxed, and we were just literally like in tune with each other and close and intimate with our conversation and laughing, and it was just, time just went by super fast. It was insane. When I noticed the time, I'm like, I can't believe that it's already 4 hours later. So I think for me, it was that time that we got to spend together that allowed me to understand that I can see myself with you.
Enough with the secrets. Like, you can't have a true, meaningful love connection if you're going to not tell your partner your story. They shouldn't hear your story out in the streets. They shouldn't hear your story from your friends. You should be the one, or you actually are the one, charged with ensuring that you tell your person all the things there are to make you who you are. Because this is the person that's going to be the closest person to you, so they should really get to know the complete you. And that's like, it's extremely important. And so this isn't to say that like guys or the girls are more likely to do these things, but I think for some reason we've convinced ourselves that we're afraid to share these things. But actually what you're doing is you're preventing the kind of closeness you could have if you're willing to share, because once they're hearing things about you from other people, then they don't feel as close to you as they would if they actually heard this thing from you. And so I think it's important that when you're really building the foundation of a relationship, that you're sharing your story, you're telling your story. Like in the beginning, like with Soph, like everything, like there's things about me that she knows and no one knows, right? And so those are just things like as you're really getting close to someone, it's important that they get to hear their story from you.
And it's not just, in the beginning of your journey in a relationship. It's also throughout the journey. You could be together for, say, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, beyond. And things arrive, obviously, because you're also evolving. But as things arrive, your person should be the first person that you go to either explain or to talk things through or to mention a situation that may have happened. That person should know before someone else comes to them to tell your story. You don't want your story being told by someone else. What happens when that happens? It tends to get bent a little out of proportion. The story is not really the true story, or it comes from a different side. So it's always best to come from you, no matter what that is. And not just that, not just about someone hearing something. It also could be about something that occurred in your life to a point where, what if you come into some kind of inheritance? You come across a large sum of money. You don't want to tell the other person because you don't want them to feel whatever. Or you have a secret account or something like that. And, you don't want to let this person know about the account. We all know that there are accounts like that do exist. I'm just giving examples. I'm not picking on anyone. But, those are just instances. Sometimes we share things with friends that we're not sharing with the person that we spend the most time with, the person that we lay our head down with. So with that being said, if you really trust the person that you're with, then you should be safe enough. You should feel safe enough to where you could come to that person and tell them. And if you feel like you're being judged or they're not understanding where you're coming from, or they may not understand, just let them know that, so that they can kind of reset and put themselves in a position where, they can be there in a way that you need them to be.
That right there is a slogan. Is she feeling good? You feeling good. Ain't that right, baby?
Yes, sir. I love
That's
it.
how it is. That's
I
how
love
it
it. That's
is.
why I love you, Cecil. I love me so Cecil. You know what I'm saying? I love me so Cecil.
And music.
No. Yeah.
Make sure you listening to some good music. The good stuff. That stuff that, put that thunder in your hips. Yeah, that stuff. That's the stuff we want to hear, the music that put the thunder in your hips. It's important. It's an important thing.
You gotta have fun. You don't want no dull, boring love. You don't want no dull, boring person that you gotta live with day in and day out. You don't talk. You ain't got nothing good to say.
Baby, what happened, baby?
Oh, honey, you were just dozing off. I just wanted to make sure that you...
Baby,
well, you gotta pay attention. Now, we're supposed to be teaching these people
I
something.
take long
all
blinks.
these years that
My
we've
blinks-
been married, you should have something to
My
say.
blinks is long, baby. Every now and again it
All right.
happens.
Well,
The
wrap it
doctor
up,
said
then.
I got slow brain syndrome, baby. Sometimes it slows down a little bit these days.
And I'll wake you up.
That's all it was, baby.
All right, now.
What were we talking about?
All
baby?
right, we were talking about how to keep these people to stay connected, to have a good relationship.
Okay.
Something that feels good to you, and something that you can do on a day in, day out.
Communication. Make sure you talking all the time. All the
Yep.
stuff you want to talk about, whatever it is, you should be talking to your person about it. You shouldn't have no secrets. Like, they should know everything there is to know about you being you. I think that's an important thing.
Yeah, it's
Right?
very important. It's very important.
Yep. Sharing the workloads, making sure you're working together, sharing the workloads and balancing that stuff out the best you can. I think that's important too, right?
And play. Can I tell them what we do?
Baby, I don't know if you want to tell them that.
Well,
baby.
I'm
I
just
don't
talking
know
about
if you
hide and
wanna-
seek.
I don't know
So
if
me
you
and
wanna- I don't
Cecil,
know if you
we
wanna-
play hide and seek sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like I go hide and then he come seek. It's so funny. I got the best hiding spots. But anyway, you gotta have fun in your relationship. You know, you want to keep it. How you young folks say? Keep it funky, swaggy.
That's it, baby.
Keep it live.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Not too, baby.
that's all.
Not
It
too.
ain't hard. You just make it
Whoa,
hard.
it's still hard, fellas.
I mean, I think that people say it, but I think more so what happens is people stop wanting to try. More so, people stop wanting to try at like things get complicated, they get difficult, and rather than trying to see what you can do and accept your responsibility for why things are this way. That's another part of it. Sometimes people don't want to respect their or accept their own how much they have contributed to what's taking place. And they don't want to accept that. And rather than not accept that, then they just stop giving. And they stop giving to it. And then it dies. And then what really happens isn't that they fall out of love, it's just that they stop trying. And so if you don't try, you can't love. You can't love if you don't try. And if you're not trying, not really trying, then it's just not, there's going to be disconnection. And so regardless to whether love is present or not, with disconnection, there's no connection, right? And I think that's what happens more often than not, is that people make a decision for whatever the reasons to not really give to this thing, and it dies. And what really dies is just the connection dies. And once the connection dies, then whether love is present or not, you don't have anything.
So here are a few things that are important for you to have real, meaningful, connected love. One of the first important things that's important is that you need to be willing to be vulnerable. If you're not willing to show your vulnerability, then you're not really going to gain the kind of trust you need to have sustaining and connected love. You also need to be willing to forgive them, because the people that you're going to connect with, all of us are going to make mistakes. And you have to be willing to forgive people, because to be human is also to make mistakes. You should always do your best, be willing to apologize when you make mistakes, and you also should let your people know that you actually care about them.
Also, prioritize spending time with the one that you love. Reciprocate loving gestures and acts of kindness. Recognize and acknowledge their good qualities. Tell them. Share things about yourself. Remember, we're always evolving. We're not the same person 2 years ago as we are today. So as you learn more about yourself and you see that you're changing for the better, you want to share those things with your partner as well, and show them how enthusiastic and how excited you are about those things. Show affection. I can't tell you how important that is, to show affection. And make it unconditional. Anything that you do, you want to do it intentionally. And when you do it intentionally, that falls under the unconditional category. Next, we're going to talk about listening to what your partner has to say and how to do that. Sometimes listening means asking questions to seek understanding so that you and your partner are sure to be on the same page. Listening doesn't always mean taking action unless stated. Just simply means listen. When your person feels heard, they instantly feel closer to you. I'm Sophie.
And I'm Aaron.
Thanks for joining the Love Power Show.
See you next week.
See you next week.